Going on to you, Geminis. You have the Six of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles. You have the Three of Cups. Obviously, this person that acted really weird with you is coming back to try to apologize and blah, right? All that jazz. And the Knight of Pentacles and the Three of Cups is it's all on you. What do you, Geminis, want to do? Do you want to take them back? Or do you want to continue to step and put yourself out there to somebody else? It's all on you at the end of the day. The Three of Cups, a lot of you Geminis may decide that you do want to get back together with them, though. Because you actually like the relationship that the two of you have, the connection that the two of you have. I'll say this, though, right? From what it is that I see, I honestly don't think that this person is the one, but I do see that this person has certain traits like they are the one. So you do feel something for this individual, but then at the same time, they're not really the one. Like you can feel something for another person, but they're not necessarily the person that you want to be in a relationship with and cash in all your chips with like that, for real, because sometimes that's how it ends up. Like, sometimes that's how it is, because a person can have some good qualities, but they're a hyena. And what I mean when I say a hyena, I'm talking about a dysfunctional person. They are dysfunctional. They do certain things right, but their dysfunctionalities that they have is just too much to bear sometimes, where it's like you don't want to you kicking it with them, but you don't want to spend so much time with them, right? Like you don't want that. You want to be able to where you can be flexible and stuff like this, right? And this is how this person is, because the Six of Cups, this person wouldn't even have to come back in the first place if they acted like they had some form of common sense, right? Like they wouldn't even have to act like they don't have any kind of, they didn't have to act like they didn't have common sense. They didn't have to wild out on you like that and really start tripping and going at you and being upset at, maybe you wanted to spend some time with them, time apart, because this person isn't doing anything, right? So they're a hyena. They are doing dysfunctional things, and it's like, but at the same time, a lot of you Geminis are like, okay, well, if you don't actually settle for something or actually like choose something, you may end up with nothing at all. And the Two of Wands and the Ace of Wands right here is about how this person definitely cares about you too. It's just that it's one of those types of relationships where it's a dysfunctional one to a certain extent, because this person cares about you, right? They care about you, you care about them. And the problem though is that you and them are compatible, but yet you're not. You're compatible with them in the sense that, like, a lot of you, the both of you do things that the both of you actually like quite a bit. The only problem with that scenario is there's a lot of the things that both of you see with each other that the two of you don't like. Like, you don't like the fact that this person may not necessarily be ambitious, and they don't like the fact that you are so willing to, cut the relationship short and not actually give them a chance, right? Even though they're trying. And sometimes too, when I say a dysfunctional person, I'm not even necessarily talking about a person who is like criminal minded per se, always. I'm talking about a person who sometimes is shiftless, sometimes who's lazy, sometimes who, they should be doing better, but at the same time, they don't want to do better, right? They don't even want to attempt to do better. That in on itself is still a scenario where, you know, you can't take that very seriously. There's still a hyena in that sense. And why that's important, even in the first place, is because the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles is about how you Geminis, you know, you have to keep your eyes open to see if there's, how do I say this? You have to keep your eyes open to see if there's anyone that could be better than them. But see that sounded messed up. The situation with that is, if you Geminis think that way, don't be in a relationship with this person and tell this person no. Honestly, what it is I'm seeing here, right, as far as the timeline goes, is that, hold on, just to gain some more clarity. This is really a scenario where you Geminis can do whatever you want, whether it's take them back or tell them to go. If I'm really rolling up my sleeves with this one, and I'm really like getting to it, bam, you know, really getting serious about this thing for real, I'm really more so seeing about how a lot of you Geminis are like drawing a line where this person wants to reconcile with you, and you Geminis are like, yeah, we can be cool, but we can only be cool, you know, we can only be peaceful, amicable with one another. Like, we can't actually be in a relationship. Some of you Geminis may try again, right? 100%, okay? That's something that you want to do. But then some of you Geminis, again, Seven of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles, you're like, no, this is a line right here. No, you're not going to accept them back at all. Because a lot of you Geminis are like, because this person is so very difficult to deal with, you know? This person, they're unpredictable. And there's nothing wrong with unpredictability if a person, you know, knows how to bring that in a little bit, you know, but they don't. It seems like they can be very upset about things that don't necessarily require all this excitability, really. You know, when you told this person that, you know, maybe you should give each other a little bit of a break, you know, because you really wanted to, you were telling them that you saw some things about them and you didn't necessarily know if you wanted to keep them around. They should have understood that. But instead of that, they just got really upset and started calling you names, right? And that type of stuff really was uncalled for, really. So at the end of the day, a lot of you Geminis are like, okay, well, you know, I'm getting all kind of notifications, but how could this person be on it like that and all this other stuff? And like, the truth is that, once again, this person is a hyena. And you Geminis have to work on some things for yourself personally, because a lot of you Geminis can't get caught up with that. You know, you can't, because you don't want to be in the same basket with the hyenas yourselves, right? Like, this is something that, you know, I've been working on, you know, all last year and this year myself, where it's like, no, I'm not a hyena like that. Like, I don't like hyenas, if you catch my drift, right? Like, that's not, I don't. I understand what some people will say. They can say that, well, it looks like I'm going over there. The truth is, honestly speaking, the truth is, so many people are so caught up with this, that, like, who doesn't like Cardi? You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, this, that, the third, Meg the Stallion. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is affected in some shape, form, or fashion with this nonsense, and trying to find somebody that isn't affected by that nonsense, that decadency, right? This wild, know what I'm saying? Like affected by this wild, oh, well, I'm liberated and all this other type of stuff. And that's cool. But what I'm trying to say is rein it in a little bit. So to find someone who isn't affected by that, right? Who has been completely unaffected by that, while at the same time still looks at life from a fair perspective of, we're both adults, we need to go Dutch. Don't trip out at the fact that you have to be an adult and go Dutch. This is a relationship. This is not about usury. That mutability, that mixture of the two is a wild one. So I understand where it is that you Geminis are coming from, right? Like, it's the sense that you are not a hyena and y'all are not trying to be on some dysfunctional stuff yourselves. But sometimes it looks like, if I get it, like sometimes it looks like, well, if you don't say yes to somebody, it just look like you just gonna really be by yourself, because everybody is affected with this nonsense in some shape, form, or fashion. So the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Cups, right, represents how so a lot of you have made the decision to not be with them anymore. You've made the decision, and it's not going to change. You've made this solid choice. You're not going to be with them anymore. You Geminis don't want to have anything to do with this ex. You could have gotten back together with them because they wanted you to get back together with them, but you Geminis are doing something bold and saying no, you're not getting back together with them, because this is beyond just a relationship at this point, right? Or a relationship. This is you Geminis cleaning up your own name. Like, like, yeah, you want to be in a relationship, but it has to work. It has to be a functional one. Like, any old relationships aren't going to work either, right? Just one where you and a person are in one, but it's dysfunctional. That's not going to work either. So it's like a lot of you Geminis are like, yeah, you want to be in a relationship and all of that, but it has to be functional. It has to be 100. It has to work. It has to act. You know what I'm saying? And the only way that it's going to work is if the two people are compatible, right? Because they share similar value systems, but then at the same time, the both of you are healed. So both of those things, and takes both of those things. If any one of those things is missing, it's not going to work. So the thing is that a lot of you Geminis understand this, and you have the Knight of Cups. You are happy to move forward and take this chance with, yeah, you found somebody that you like, but it's not good. It's not good long term like that. It's dysfunctional. So even though technically you can stay with this person long term, and you can call that long term, it's not an actual functional relationship where it's something that is supposed to last. It's a relationship where it's only a fling, really, like that. It's not really something that is substantial. So let's clarify the Knight of Cups. You have the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Three of Cups. There's that Three of Cups again, the Five of Pentacles, and then you have the Fool card, right, to clarify the Knight of Cups. And again, the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Swords here speaks to how a lot of you Geminis ultimately, really, you have to find somebody that is a good match. It just can't be anybody just because you're familiar with this person, or the two of you may have, had some romance for, a little bit. No, it has to actually be worth something. It has to actually fit. It has to actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to, the two of you have to be healed. You Geminis understand that, you're in the process of healing. You have to become even more healed. You Geminis realize that you have to become better than where you are. Healed, better, even more healed. And like, again, that's the thing. When you out here, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't hang around the same type of individuals that I used to. Like, I'm not even going to. Like, all of that nonsense and all of that, it's like, nah, I've cut the wildness out of my life as far as like the quality of the people that like I'm even trying to talk to. Like, if I see a person is giving me issues and stuff like this and stuff like that, I'm really getting them up on out of my life. I'm not even having them as a friend, because to the people who are wild, I was trying to be like, okay, they're gonna come in my life and they're gonna try to mess it up, but at the very least, I can at least still try to be their friend, and that will shield me. Nah, that's not even gonna work. So the way that I handle my business now, because I understand I understand, Gemini, the way that I handle my business now too is just like you, in a sense that, like, when it comes to interacting with others, again, I'm looking for something that's rare, for real, for real. I'm looking for something that's rare, like very rare. The Five of Pentacles and the Fool is about how because you had to leave that alone in order to get better, in order to do better for yourself. Because staying with somebody just because you and this person have some things that are in common, you have to have a better value system than that. And this is one thing that a lot of you Geminis are realizing from firsthand, that just because the two of you are somewhat compatible doesn't mean that it's a good thing.